Donald Trump continues on both Facebook and Twitter to spread lies about what actually took place in the 2020 presidential election. The most recent one that he has been spreading in the last couple days on both Facebook and Twitter is that you had tons of dead people who somehow managed to vote in the state of Georgia. Now, it's unclear, by the way, just so everybody knows, we're not sure if these dead people, if they're actually like legit zombies that rose from the grave, traveled to the polling place, I guess, before going out and seeking brains, because typically, that's what a zombie would do, right? You're back to life, you vote, obviously, you got to do your civic duty, and then you go out and you try to get brains. Now, it could also be that people who requested absentee ballots died while they were waiting for them, or died before they could have turned them in, and somebody filled them out for them. I guess that's probably the more believable conspiracy here. However, there's still no proof whatsoever that any of these things took place. Because it's actually, folks, quite easy for state officials to look at a ballot, look at a name, and then type it into a database real quick and see if that person is in fact living or dead. It's not rocket science here, okay? So anyway, Facebook and Twitter are allowing the president to say these things. Twitter every now and then puts their little warning up like, oh, this claim is disputed. Be careful. Yeah, and usually it takes them, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes even longer than that before they put the little warning up there. Facebook, for the most part, is not really doing much of anything. Just saying, whatever, bring on all the lies, bring on all the craziness. We love it. And here's the problem. These two social media outlets, for as much as conservatives have bitched about them for the last couple years, they are absolutely the worst enablers of misinformation on this planet. That's what they are. That's what they do. And Republicans are the ones who seem to get away with it more than anybody else, because they're the ones who spread it more than anybody else. They've done studies on this over the last few years, that Facebook is the number one source for fake news, and it typically is the older generation spreading the fake news, and it spreads like wildfire. And Facebook does absolutely nothing to stop it, even when they know it's fake. Now, Twitter, of course, with their little warning labels, I guess that's their attempt to do something. They've said that maybe when Trump's not president anymore, they can suspend his account, deactivate his account, whatever it is, if he continues this. But that's not good enough. The damage is being done right now. There are millions of Republicans in this country today who think that this election was stolen. They think that dead people voted. They think that these Dominion voting machines flipped hundreds of thousands of votes from Trump to Biden. They may believe, as Trump's lawyers have pushed, that the ghost of Hugo Chavez colluded with George Soros and communists from Serbia to steal the election. They may believe, as Lynwood said, that there's something far more sinister happening here and that maybe the deep state is involved. Trump even accused his own attorney general of being fake news when he said there was no evidence of this fraud. There's no evidence of it. 50 state attorney general or 50 state secretary of states have said that. The attorney general of the United States, who is one of the most loyal Trump cronies out there, has said that. Republican governors have said it. Democratic governors have said it. There is no evidence of this. So what is the holdup on Facebook and Twitter not removing these posts? It's poisoning our country right now. It's further dividing our country. And they're just sitting there saying, well, I put a warning on it. I don't know what else I could do. Ban them. Ban them fast. Ban them forever. That's what you have to do. Because you're going to let this disinformation continue to spread, and it's going to continue sucking more and more gullible people down into its web of lies. That's what is going to continue to happen. You do not owe them anything. They are already accusing you of bias. So don't be afraid to do this because, they're going to say we're biased. No. What you're doing is actually standing up for the truth, which is a hell of a lot harder than just allowing the lies to continue to flow and doing nothing. You have the opportunity to do the right thing. but I'm afraid that nobody at Facebook and nobody at Twitter actually has the courage to do that right thing.